Hi, it's Brandon Splay from thirstgym.com, and today we're going to talk about an exercise called the half kneeling band Pallof press to overhead raise. Now this is an advanced progression of your standard band Pallof press. We're going to do this in a half kneeling position, and what you're going to need with your band is you're going to need something to tie it to, rack, rig, door frame, wherever you're at, wherever you got. Tie your band through itself. I've got an AirX pad here to make things a little more comfortable for my knees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get in a half kneeling position, and I'm going to set up a little bit behind the band. So I don't want the band to be like way out here creating a triangle. What I want is maybe just a very, very small triangle, if at all. I want to try to make sure that band's going to be almost straight out in front of the rack when I go to press it, and we'll talk about that here in just a second why. So again, I'm going to be rather slightly behind the band. And what I'm going to do, outside leg is going to be up in our half kneeling position. Knee is underneath my hip on the down stance leg. Knee's going to be straight forward. Don't let your knee turn out. That's going to be the first thing that you're probably going to try to see athletes or clients do, is turn this leg out. Don't want that. Good and stacked. That's going to let us kind of open up that hip a little bit. Use the adductor on the inner thigh of that up stance leg to kind of pull you towards the band. And then hand in the band right here in the midsection. Now, what we're going to do, I'm not super far away because it's going to get harder as we do. So don't start where you normally start a regular Pallof press. Scoot in just a little bit. Hand here. You're going to perform your regular Pallof press out. So here, now I feel my abdominals engaged, feel my inner thigh, feel my hamstring having to pull. I've got everything stacked. I'm not overextending. All right, I feel a lot of stuff here. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we're going to perform an overhead raise from this position. So I'm going to try to keep that tension driving away as I reach overhead, and then come back down, come back here. This is obviously the easiest position. I've got a little bit of rest. I'm still having to resist it a little bit, but it's almost considered like your rest position. Press out, straight overhead. As soon as I do that, man, I feel my left QL, and then come back. So you're gonna really try to segment it to where you're kind of moving like a robot. Press out, pause, overhead, pause, down, pause, back, pause. As we go overhead, where you're going to see another issue, you don't want to overextend to get to that position. Now, I don't have the best shoulder flexion to be able to get there, but I can still keep my ribs pretty far down, and I can tell that my QL on my up stance leg is working hard to come down to prevent me from going towards the rack. So as I get here, again, I want to keep my ribs down, push back, reach overhead as much as I can, and then come back. Now what we're getting from this, outside of the anti-rotation part of it, which is kind of obvious with most Pallof presses, as we hold that band, we're trying to resist it from pulling us towards the rack. I'm obviously creating that and resisting it, okay? Resisting that rotation, anti-rotation. As I go overhead, now we've got anti-lateral flexion. So as the band goes here, my body is now preventing me from getting pulled towards the rack. So my oblique and my QL on that side, the away-facing side, as I said, my first rep, man, felt my QL kick in. It's gonna pull down to keep everything here as I go overhead. So the facilitation is going to uptick on that side, and then as I go down, it's going to ease off a little bit. So you're going to get a 2-for-1 with this exercise: anti-rotation and anti-lateral flexion. And then you're obviously going to use the half kneeling position to kind of make things a little more challenging as well, get some adductor facilitation and things like that. Then you would switch sides. Now, when it comes to your programming, you're really going to want to probably start around 6 to 8 reps per side, maybe build up to 10, and then challenge your distance to be able to, again, hold those neutral positions. Again, knees in line with the hip, don't want that external rotation on the up stance leg. Don't want to go into crazy extension to get overhead. You want to control each rep. Ribs stay down, bushes stay tucked, low back should be relaxed. You might feel some hamstring and adductor on that up stance leg like we talked about. And then you'll obviously feel all the abdominals in your midsection, especially QL and oblique as you go overhead. So that is the exercise. If you've got any questions about setup, implementation, anything like that, please let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.